Listen, listen, listen. Happy Memorial Day, and today I will ramble on for, I don't know, maybe 3 hours. I don't think there's a whole lot of news, but there's some stuff to talk about. And then there's a topic, and I thought, well, let's talk crossovers. And I have another topic that I was going to do, but again, with GI Joe announcing that they're doing another crossover with Laura Croft or Tomb Raider, I thought, hey, you know what? This is a perfect time. And then, of course, all the turtles go up. But let's be honest, there are so many different crossovers. So that's what we'll talk about at the end of the show. I'm not sure how long that will go. There's, I think, some good crossovers. There's some bad crossovers. But either way, we will discuss it. But until then, I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday. And to the heathens up north, I hope you had a good Monday. Anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in. For all the people that are tuning in, as you ever look and you wonder, like, why aren't moving like they're supposed to? I always have I always have my YouTube going over here, but it seemed to be stalling for some reason. But anyway, again, hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope you guys got some stuff done up here in Michigan. It has started to get a little toasty. It was in the 70s again. I think I mentioned it before. My house has it has no airflow whatsoever. So I fought it long enough, and I finally said, you know what? It is time to turn that air conditioning on. I don't want to. This is supposed to be that in between where you don't have to have the heat on for your gas, and you're not supposed to have the air conditioning on for your electric, and you want the bills to go down going into Joe Fest, and obviously also for Florida for me. But I don't think I'm going to get that. But hey, those are first world problems. I can clearly afford all these wonderful toys, including I bought this thing. I did end up ordering this. I'm starting to realize I got I'm not even a huge Ghost Rider fan, but I'm really starting to like Ghost Rider figures. I got that other one on the way. I got the other bike. Now I'm like, should I have bought the Ramen Racer? I should not have, and I did not. But I did review it. But anyway, let's see. So this weekend, I got home. It was like we had just a little over a half day. I got home, asked my son if he wanted to go see Mandalorian and Grogu. He said no. I said, all right. I went and saw it. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I don't regret spending the money to see it in the movie theater. And yes, I went by myself. I don't care. I'm not talking to anyone in the movies. I wanted to see it. Do I think it could have been a Disney Plus movie? Probably. But I will say this, and I'm not going to spoil anything. Obviously, if you've seen the previews, it is about the Hutts. And I can say, the one thing I liked about it was in just over 2 hours, they were able to take what they could have done a whole season on, putting in a lot of filler, which they didn't. And they completed a story arc that's been around for quite some time. So I had no issues with the Mandalorian and the Mandalorian and Grogu. It's a fun movie. Again, it's not Star Wars, it's not Empire, not Jedi, it's not the Phantom Menace, or I really hate Attack of the Clones. I don't hate Attack of the Clones. I hate The Last Jedi and all of those ones. I'm not a fan of Attack of the Clones. But anyway, I went and saw that, and then it was still cool. And then on Saturday, it was going to be a cool day in rain. And I decided, you know what? Let's kind of tear apart everything that's in the living room. Not everything, but where the G.I. Joe stuff is. And add a few shelves so they're longer, they're wider, and put stuff on there. And I did that. I actually recorded it, and I got a short going up. Well, I have to create a short, but I do have a short that I probably put up tomorrow. It's like 3 minutes long. to get through all the stuff. I realized that even though I made this extra room, I don't have a lot of extra room. Now, I did add in all of my Skeletron stuff and all my big bad workshop stuff, which takes up a lot of space. You'll see. You'll see when I drop the short. You're gonna be like, "Geez, man! Like you're out of space." And there's a lot more coming. We'll just leave it at that. There's a lot more coming. But anyway, I did that. That's one of those things where you start. You're doing these shelves, and you're going back and forth. And then I did reviews because I got some stuff in. So I was excited about that. But you're doing reviews and then you get exhausted. I don't know how you guys are when you're redoing your displays, but like you start gung ho and then you get maybe, at least for me, 75% done. And then you're just burnt out and it's like, man, why did I do this? Why did I do this? But, again, it was one of those things where I went back to Home Depot more than a few times this week for certain things. I did stop at Target and I found a nice young employee, probably in high school. I said, "Hey, can you scan this?" It was for Ninja Zartan. Oh, we got 6 in the back. I said, "Cool. Can you grab one?" He went to the back. He came back and, "Sorry, we cannot sell that to the 31st." And I said, "That is perfectly fine. But you have 6 in the back." He said, "Yeah." Now I still have it on order, so I'm not overly worried. Target will probably ship it ahead of time. And he was very like apologetic. "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Dude, you did your job, man. Like I'm not gonna yell at you. I'm a 50-year-old man. You have to follow the rules, and I have no problem with that whatsoever." So if you are interested in Ninja Zartan, he's at all the Targets. He's just sitting there in the back, and they cannot sell them to the street dated, which is Sunday. So get ready for it if that's what you're interested in. And then, I got some stuff in. We'll talk about what I reviewed and what you should have gone and watched if you haven't yet. But anyway, and let's see, did I do it? Man, it was a long weekend because I got off work early. Like it didn't feel like I was wasting a day. It actually felt like a long holiday, which I normally don't get. This, and then today today I went out and we got a new sprayer for the association and I started spraying the weeds, but I knew I didn't have enough. So I had to go back and bought more. And then I'm like, I'll get out to it this weekend or this week, next weekend, whatever. But just a lot of cleaning up the house, which is what I needed to do. Building some shelves, making it actually looks better. It looks like there's more room because I got rid of a whole table that was set to the side where this big display was set at. But again, that was kind of my weekend. And here I am. Monday, I'm like, should I do a show on Monday? And I went and looked at and seen how much news, and I was like, all right, there's a lot of stuff to get to. So why not do it? I know there's still going to be a lot of people waiting, a lot of people going back to work for the first day. And again, I know for a fact that a lot of you are, you look at this as your day before Tuesday, right? You tune in here. So I try and make it as much as possible. So anyway, let's get into the chat and let's say hi to everyone. There is 42 people watching right now. So please, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. It really does mean a lot in the algorithm. We got GI Bro, who has the best guns in the community. We have Dave R. Maybe. There we go. Snow Wolf is here. We have one moderator, Matthew Matson, jumping in here with his. Man, my stuff is not. This StreamYard is acting up big time today. I might even have to hit a pause and reboot this. SCS Dog is here. We have Blue Barnella saying, "What's up, everyone? What's up, Larry? Keep those brands separate. Nobody wants ketchup in their ice cream." Oh, that is almost as bad. That might even be worse than what was it? The dried tomato ice cream that we came up with on Circle of Jerks. Payne's Toy Sample is here. We have Same Time Toys jumping in here. Say, oh, hell yeah. And Thursday as well. We'll talk about that. We have Penny Rooster Reviews saying, "What's up, everyone?" And I mean, I might end up being wrong. Actually, I can't do any. Yeah, everything is completely frozen up here. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna play something so I can reboot and be able to do everything I want to do. Derek Holloman is here. We have Beardy McPherson. Hey, Punk and chat. Hope everyone had a good Monday. We have Cypher63. I already said hi to Derek Holloman. We have US Combat Dojo, a member for 13 months, saying, "Hey, Punk, ready for another Monday night?" And you get a
fucking Phil Collins.
All right. Devil Dog is here. Viper Scout. SCS Dog. We have Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. And is there anyone else? I know there's other people. Here's another moderator. Action Thing saying happy Monday and Memorial Day. We have Evil Dookie, or should I call him Angry Dookie? Go check out his live. It was very short. But listen to what he says. There's a lot of beefs. Just people stop attacking people or insinuating things on people. All right. I'm one of those people. Again, I've done it, but you better be willing to back up everything that you said if you're going to say something. We'll just leave it at that for right now. All right. We have men. Who's jumping in here? Man, there are a few other people. Let's see. Mamu Nestor saying, see, most people don't want to see it. It was 4 episodes with clear ending points. The last 30 minutes was so boring, more than the rest of it. Okay, well, I mean, then you don't have to see it. I enjoyed it. I mean, that's great that people don't want to see it. I enjoyed it. And I don't regret spending the money. Believe me, we know how you guys feel. Gun Bunny Customs is here. We have 80s Joe saying Punk and chat. Bobby Wool jumping in and saying, "I'm waiting for the Jedro crossover with the Nards Battle Core." You're probably also going to be waiting for me to answer one of your emails. I'm so bad with that. Did I say hi to Gun Bunny Customs? I think that I did, but you know what? I can always say hi to him twice. We have Cal Shave or Callister is here. Some call him Ronnie Trickshot. I will call him what he is. Classified Ronnie saying, Good day, lads. Scammer Classified Ronnie reporting for duty with a shotgun that is actually a grenade launcher. You read the comments. I love it. Mudhorn Station, who I'm assuming you must have went and saw Mandalorian and Grogu, right? I mean, I would assume you had to. Sean W. Savage. And then we have Clint Jorgensen, had a blast at Mo Tunaverse. Come on, let's be honest. Everyone is saying Mo Tuna, right? Like, all I think of is tuna, tuna of the sea. Are you coming out next year, Punk? No. Will it even be a thing next year? Who knows? Lady Virgo Cool saying Dookie speaks the truth. Yes, he does. I'm not going to deny that at all. We have Benji Williams saying, "What up, Punk? What up, everyone?" Let's see here. I think where we got Todd C, 3-star draw saying, if I knew there was going to be this much goddamn drama, publicly collecting toys, I'd have stuck to shooting dice in alleys." Maybe. The Crusty Old Crow is here. We have Ultra Match is here. All right, so I'm going to play something quickly. I'm going to restart this because I can't deal with jumping back and forth and shit just not working. It drives me absolutely nuts. Clint Jorgensen says, a sense of concern. We have 360 days to get you in. Again, it is 1 month away from Joe Fest. Yeah, and also someone has a graduation next year, so it probably really is not going to work. And I'm glad everyone had a great time. I really am. I'm not that person that is disgusted by that stuff and how could someone like something that I don't. But yeah. But here's a I don't know, kind of a sponsor.
Welcome back to Late Night with Mothman. Oh man, we've had such a crazy ride so far with all the amazing guests and shows that we've watched throughout this 36-hour stream. And I want to make sure y'all know we got to keep donating. We got to keep getting them numbers up. Skeletor, what are you doing here? Skeletor has come for the circle jerk. Ooh. Come again? That's the plan. Skeletor, I think you're confused. There's no this is a late night with Mothman, so I don't know what you're referring to. Man, Tony's Figs told me I could meet 4 bald men here for a circle jerk. And Skeletor will not leave until he's satisfied. Skeletor, I think you might be confused with the show. It's called Circle of Jerks, and they're not on right now. Then they like do a show like every week or every other week or something. I don't watch it. Fool! I promise you, Skeletor is not confused. Skeletor, I'm trying to tell you there's no circle jerk going on here right now.
I got this. Skeletors. What you're looking for is it's back here in the back.
Yes, Skeletor will be satisfied. I don't even know what's happening anymore, guys. So maybe we just kick it back to the 36-hour live stream, and y'all just keep donating money for Toys for Tots. Yeah, late night with Mothman, I guess.
All right, let's see if that works a little bit better. NorCal Voodoo Toy Box jumping saying, "What's up, fellow figure junkies?" Ultramatch saying, "This clip makes me feel uncomfortable. Then it did its job." Did anyone notice that in? Did anyone else notice that in Masters of the Universe, Mossman is in it? Now we have talked for years, saying that if there's ever a movie, another cartoon, and Mossman comes out, we're going to hear the voice, and it's going to be ruined for us. And I am so interested because, let's be honest, we are going to redo every single line in the Mossman voice. Hey guys, hey He-Man, we missed you here on Eternia. Are you going to be able to save us from Skeletor? I sure hope so. Everyone, including Tony's Face, who we know is a huge Mossman fan. Russell Lemieux jumping in there, getting Beastly on a bone. But yeah, I cannot wait. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun to see. So anyway, all right. So this weekend, I finally did something that I had been planning on doing for, I don't know, over a month, and that is finishing up Series 5 of what I have for the G.I. Joe A Real American Hero. And that is the AVAC, which I specifically bought for $80. I just remember the price because it's not a cheap figure. For $80 at assembly required, so I could do it. And then realized I don't have all the Firebat stuff. A matter of fact, I have one missile of the Firebat. And I was going to order that stuff and realize that would cost me close to like 100 bones to get all the missiles and bombs and the guns. And I'm like, you know what? There's certain things that I'll just search for at Joe Fest. And then the Terradrome, and that is my Terradrome, my Firebat, obviously, which was not the easiest review. And anyone that watched it, I do apologize if anyone started to feel seasick as I moved the camera around trying to record it. It wasn't easy, but I finally finished it. And I'm going to try and work on some of Series 6 to air while I'm at Joe Fest. I am really far from having that even close to being complete. I don't think I have any series that's complete, but that's where between 5 and 6, you realize you found skateboarding. So I will definitely be I'm gonna be looking trying to get that done. I'm picking up some stuff. I probably have more stuff from Series 6 than I realize, like vehicle wise. But I am picking some stuff up from Woody that I bought. Well, we agreed upon, I don't know, 6-7 months ago, and he's like, "Hey, just get it at Joe Fest." So It's finally gonna happen, and I don't know where I'm gonna put that shit, but it's going somewhere in my house, especially the mobile battle command center, which I have always wanted and I've never had. That's like one thing that I really did want, other than the Defiant, which I feel like I'm never gonna get. But I also finally got something from GI Customs. I actually got a couple things. Two things are smaller, but I did get the Dino Hauler, and it really works. As I put it in my display, it really works for what I need it to be. He did say, if you watch the review, that the lift gate is supposed to stay up. He was supposed to. He said, "Oh, send me out another one." I'm not super worried about it. I fully trust him on that type of stuff. The wheels, that was something that I know a few people complained about. I want people to understand that when I do reviews, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to. I do not buy anything just so I can tear it apart. Contrary to popular belief, I pay for all of my stuff, and I can't buy stuff just to throw it away or tear it apart, make $5 or $6 on on YouTube. It's not what I try and do. So it is one of those things where I just try and point out what my experience is with it and what I like, what I don't like about it. And your experience may be completely different. I've said that numerous times doing the reviews, right? So with everything, but all in all, the quality is pretty good. There are some things that I would like to be different, but again, I'm not running all of this and designing all of this, and that type of stuff definitely makes it a little difficult. So and then quickly, Evil Dookie says, everything I buy, okay. Your tearing apart is different than what my tearing apart is. All right. You and Gun Bunny, like what you guys do, like your tearing apart is the exact opposite of what I do. That did make me laugh though. But the other two things that I did get was the Muse and Bullseye 2-pack. This was a Pulse exclusive. Now, if you're not a Marvel Legends fan and you still order this, I think that this will seamlessly fit in with your classified. You can work this. These guys can be Cobra agents. They could be guys that the Crimson Twins hire to do damage to. They really fit in. Both of them fit in pretty well. They both have masks. The other thing is, and if you watch my review of the thing that I got today, and you should, because it is a damn good figure. Early on in the Daredevil, I pop on the main Bullseye balaclava, not the beat up face. I pop it on the Big Bad Workshop black and gray camouflage Soldiers of Fortune figure, and it fits perfect. And yes, we know it's gonna fit because they use the same neck like size ball peg, but the color of the mask works really well. And you could use that as like a Bullseye that's like in tactical gear, or it could be one of those where, hey, they hired someone to, frame Bullseye, and it just works. Like, it looked really good when I popped it on there. I was really kind of surprised that it worked so well. But onto that was I got that Daredevil, the Secret Wars one. And I talked to Crow on the phone today. He said he watched about half of my review, and he's like, "You didn't watch my review, did you?" I'm like, "I didn't, because I've really gotten away from watching reviews of things that I'm going to be getting before I get it." And he said, "You said so much of the same stuff that I did." Now, is it Maximum? No. There are some things that Maximum Spider-Man, Maximum Deadpool are going to have, the articulated toes. But for the most part, the articulation in that $28 figure is top notch. You can get them in like the superhero pose, bending down. Would toe articulation help? It would, especially for what he's doing. I'm not a big toe articulation guy, but I do think on Ninja, Spider-Man stuff, I don't want to classify to ever have a toe articulation. We'll just say that. But some of these, like, it just works. It has the ab crunch at the lower part, and then it has the diaphragm cut above it. But the double D's, not his double D's. Get your minds out of the gutter. The DD is up above it, so there's no break in it. You know, I said before, like, I'm more of an ab crunch guy. I've said this before. The diaphragm cut, it has its purposes, but the diaphragm cut, when Hasbro decided to finally start integrating it, other than Serpentor, because someone will say Serpentor had it first, it was Bazooka. But Bazooka has numbers and it instantly breaks the numbers. I was like, that was the wrong figure to put it on because he should have had the ab crunch. So those numbers are always in line. But this Daredevil is really, really good. And the only thing that I knew, because Crow had posted a couple pictures, was when you take the batons apart, and I think it's called batons. If I'm wrong, just, yell and scream at me. You can put a bending wire between it. Like, it was specifically done. And you can make it so he's shooting it, he's using it, all kinds of stuff. Like, that's going to work. But in all honesty, like, this is one of those things where it's like Hasbro may have, like, if they were planning on doing a maximum Daredevil, they may want to rethink it because they just gave you a really, really, really good Daredevil that a lot of people are going to go, what the hell do I need a maximum for? Now, it is sold out everywhere. So is this one of those ones that doesn't come back into stock? I don't know. Amazon is sold out. Amazon was sold out and Pulse was sold out. So it might be one of those ones that becomes hard to get. So he jumps up in price. So if you're able to grab it, I would say get it, especially if you get that Muse and Bullseye 2-pack and you have the Punisher. Listen, I think I said it in my review. I had planned on only getting Marvel Legends pretty much to fill in with G.I. Joe. That has gone right down. That has been scrapped because I am so deep in Marvel Legends now. I just really, really do enjoy it. So Krusty O'Crow says, yep, preach that Daredevil, preach it. Steal of a deal. I agree. And again, you can say, hey, you know what? $28 is too much for a basic figure with only one extra set of hands and his baton. He has his little sensing, which I'll probably never use. And then I don't need the lenticular shield. It's pretty useful. You can't even put it on his forearm because his forearms are so thin. But it is such a good figure. I mean, it really, really is. But check that out if you haven't, please. It helps the algorithm. Helps me get into that Marvel Legends algorithm, which I know a while back Shark Eyes had sent me someone said, who are the reviewers you dislike the most? And I made it up there, which is good because I really wasn't even doing that many Marvel Legends at the time. And Tony's Fig saying you're balls deep in Legends now. Pretty much. But it's not like I'm balls deep in McFarlane, which is going away, and I have to customize every one so they fit in some sort of scale. But anyway, I've had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun just when I'm doing my reviews, and especially I have other things to do, believe it or not. It's like I know people looking like you don't even do that much editing. It's pretty simple, and it is. I try and be straight to the point, but doing the photography takes the most time, and then creating just a thumbnail and everything, it all adds up, and it just becomes very problematic to get it done and out there. And again, I really enjoy doing them, but like today, I was like, I have other things I need to get done. And then with the Bullseye one, I was just like, It was in the middle of doing all the shelves, so I knew I had to take a break, and it was just it was crazy. Tony says, "I love my custom McFarlane's. You do too." No, Corey loves yours. Um, my name is not Corey, but I love the fact that you enjoy it, and I'll tell you what, I love the fact that you have found this awesome niche to hopefully help grow that YouTube channel, because you've been killing it, man. I think everyone knows it. Cypher63 says, enjoyed the Terradrome review today. Thank you very much. Like you said, that one was difficult. These big vehicles are always difficult. And the Terradrome, because literally I'm circling it, and anyone that has one knows those things can snap off at any moment. They can snap off at any moment, so you're trying to be as careful as possible. And I completely forgot to show you guys, what the Cobra Claw, how that connected to it, how the ferret, and how you could fill it up with gas and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys watching that stuff. I know it's older stuff, but it's one of those things that hopefully it sticks around for years and years to come. Because that stuff's never going anywhere, right? I mean, that G.I. Joe stuff it's never ever going anywhere. But anyway, I want to say thank you to the guys from Podcast from the Pit jumping on the drive to Joe Fest. If you haven't figured out, I did not call it the road to Joe Fest. I called it the drive because I'm literally driving down. It is a play on words. But I had Podcast from the Pit guys. We had Casey, Hillbilly Harper, Maximum Warp, and Joe ARH all joining in, and 3 of them have been there. Joe was supposed to go. He said business may have come in the way, and I think I pretty much said, you have to go, man. If you leave on Friday and you get out of work, you leave on Friday, you're only there till, you come in on, in the morning, crash at someone's hotel, stay there Saturday, stay there Sunday. It closes at 12 or at 2. You're on the road again. Yeah, maybe you go into work a little late. It'll be a story that you will remember, and I guarantee you will have an absolute blast. There are very few people that I know of that haven't had fun at Joe Fest, and I think the people that haven't had fun, they kind of did it to themselves. And that's all I can say about that. But this week, the drive to Joe Fest continues, and that is with the Smoking Joe's guys. Same Time Toys, Shane and Woody 222, the Figure Addict. You guys know Woody 222. He's this guy. I don't know why he loves fart noises, but he does. They will be joining me. Unfortunately, Fox and Tony aren't going. And again, the whole purpose of having this on is people that are going. And again, with this one, Shane has been there. He spent a couple of days at Joe Fest last year. And then this will be Woody's first time. Woody has said he is going to be alternating between here and DFW. But I think after Joe Fest, he's going to find a way to work this into his yearly rotation, because I'm telling you, man, like, this is for our community, and maybe Motunaverse, or Mo Dolphinness, whatever it is. You remember, you remember the tuna with the dolphin free, whatever it was. Maybe that's for them, but this is, again, if you like G.I. Joe, you just like this type of stuff, you like this community, you're going to have a blast at Joe Fest. And so I definitely do say, come and experience it once. TK Storm saying, sup, punk and gang. And Russell Lemieux says, a journey in the journey. Yes, that's Charlie Tuna. Come on, they call it Motunaverse. Like, seriously, I understand what you're trying to go for, but it literally says Motuna. All I hear is Motuna. Circle the Jerk should be tomorrow, but your guess is as good as mine, right? Because Baldy pretty much creates this. So I have no idea. I'm assuming we're doing a show tomorrow. If we're not, I guess I'm not doing one tomorrow. So try and tune in tomorrow. All right. Before I get into the topic, or get into the toys and the news, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. And Mo Tuna melt. Kind of Mo Tuna verse. All right. I understand. I am not your guys' keepers. All right. I'm not your keeper. I can only do so much for people in the community. I enjoy helping people out in the community. But there comes a time, and I've talked about this, if you are asking me something, you can probably assume 10 to 15 other people have asked. Whether it's to, can you pick this up for me at Joe Fest? Can you do this for me at Joe Fest? I can only do so much. I am not your keeper. We are all adults here. I feel like I'm the one that at times has to tell people why certain things can't be done, why I can't have you on the show. What is the reason why I don't invite you? What is the reason why, you're not holding my fucking hand through Joe Fest? Dude, understand. There is only so much that I can do for people. And there's only so much that I'm willing to even do for people. I am just a fucking schmuck that fucking goes to Joe Fest and has a toy tube. All right? I'm nothing special. But I've said this before. I run a YouTube show, a YouTube channel, and it's a fairly successful one in our little toy community. But please, all of you guys got to stop asking me for stuff. And I know this kind of sounds like a dick move, but eventually the amount of things that I get inundated with, I feel like this is the only way that I can tell you. All right. And yes, there are people that are going to be pissed off, and I'm sorry. I've always been the one that said, if you see me, stop. I'd rather spend 5 minutes with somebody chatting with them that they're never going to tell anyone, rather than be like, hey, I tried talking to Punk. He was a complete asshole. He didn't want to have anything to do with me. He just wanted to shove me. Those types of things, like they don't go away. But eventually you just have to be like, dude, understand there's a line that we all have, and some of you really want to cross it. And let's just stop it. Okay? just stop it. Ed says, you're not holding my hand at Joe Fest this year. Disappointment. Norco, all right, hold on. TK Storm says, I picked up a bunch of stuff for people last year and wound up getting stuck with about half of it. That's the fucking problem. And again, like, if we're fucking friends and we chat, all right, cool. Like, cool. And again, if I ask somebody, and again, I've asked people, and I've been like, now I'm really easy to find, right? Like, the last thing I want is like, oh yeah, Punk asked me to pick this up, and then I did, and now I'm stuck with it. Like, I'm obviously not going to screw someone. But either way, there's, again, you can imagine if you're going somewhere, 10 people have already asked that person for something. So, Ultramet says, wait a minute, you're not bringing me back presents from Joe Fest? Maybe some reviews, but they'll be way late because I'm going on vacation right after. NorCal Voodoo said, Pro, you just need to be you every Monday. Yeah, I know. And eventually I'm very, very honest about who I am. Some people like just don't want to hear it. Russell and Mew said, it's okay. Most people from Michigan are schmucks or youpers. No, not even close. And youpers is a very, very, very small population of people from Michigan. You're thinking of Ohioans. Those are the awful, awful people. Evil Tukey says, if we can't hold hands, can we hold pockets? Stu for Lunch says, can you go and have a fun time and make some memories? That is all I'm asking from you. Oh, maybe say hi to Ken too. I will definitely say hi to Ken for sure. Beard is saying, can you pick me up a flag? Blue Barnella, hey Larry, when you go to Joe Fest, can you pick me up a Mo tuna melt? That I can do, Blue Barnella. I just need your address, and I will make sure that I will send you a Mo tuna melt in the snail mail. You know, I might even send it DHL, so it is nice and ripe when you get it. You know, again, a Yooper is someone from the Upper Peninsula. That is what they're called. So people in the Upper Peninsula, which you know, like Michigan here, which I haven't. I'm trying to think of. Is it going to show up properly? Because everything is. Anyway, the Upper Peninsula. You know what the Upper Peninsula is? The actual thing that is connected to. Yeah, it's like this. Before anyone says you don't know what Michigan looks like, no, what I'm looking at here is opposite of what's over here. So what you see is the actual proper way it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's the Upper Peninsula. So where they came up with the Yooper, I guess upper, but and they have their own little slang. It's interesting. We'll just say that. Super nice people because they don't see a lot of new people. So I love tuna melts. I love this. Lost Ranger 87 said, I heard Corey Feldman is performing at Joe Fest this year. You know, don't even say shit like that. But anyway, just again, understand there are personal boundaries with everybody, right? And again, this show is for everyone. And we all can get along, but there are some personal boundaries that people need to not overstep. Okay, I said it before. It's like a playground, right? We're not best friends with every single person. Doesn't mean we're not friends with people, but we're not best friends with every single person. So we'll just leave it at that. So anyway, there you go. Joe Fest is 32 days away, I think, depending on what month we're in, or how many days are in the month. Yep, Joe Fest starts. Well, it doesn't start on the 25th. We'll be there on the 25th. Ed got mad at me because I said it's not a month away. Yes, it is. I'm like, no, it's not, dude, because a month. Or I'm sorry, he said it's 4 weeks away. I'm like, it's not 4 weeks away. Yeah, it is. I'm like, no, it's not, because we have all these days to go because there's more than 28 days in a month. And then he got mad at me. I'm sorry, Ed. I can't help it. I wanted to be closer too. I wanted to be closer too. All right. I get it because I have 2 fucking weeks off. 2 weeks. I'm going to spend so much money and I'm coming back in the hole so much. Oh, and if you look at all the stuff that's coming out around July 1st, oh, it's going to be an expensive month for me. You guys better be watching all my reviews just so I can make sure that I can make back some of this damn money. Russell and me said, oh my God, this summer is going to fly by. Possibly. Steve Chomp jumping in saying good evening, everyone. Cypher63 saying tune in for toys. Tune in for toys, got a geography lesson and learned a new regional nickname. How can you not love the show? Thank you very much. Listen, if there's anyone that has been in this chat before or watched the show and they're like, wow, why he really goes off on tangents, that means you haven't been watching the show. If this show has ever stayed on track, it would have been the early days. Cooter's Garage coming in saying, "Yo, Punk." All right. So anyway, that's really it for all of that. I should probably bring up what I got, but what I do have quickly is I will share this screen as I have talked about it before, and there is some merch. So I did finally order my my Joe Fest shirt. So if you are interested in any merch, I would love to see it there. Again, this Joe Fest 2026. I just ordered it. I was actually kind of pissed off because it was 20% off. I think I pointed it out to you guys, and I went to order it, and for some odd reason, the website wouldn't let me order. And then when I went to order it again, the 20% was over. So, but if you are interested in any shirts, anything like that, merchandise, again, this shirt here, the Joe Fest one, it will be gone when I get back from Florida. So you have a short amount of time if you're interested. But these other ones, Punk with Toys, obviously the Circle of Jerks, and there's other stuff on there. If you are interested and want to support the channel, and well, when everyone else shows for their shit, so should I, right? If I don't tell you about it, who the hell will? And look at this little pink sweatshirt would look great on some guys, or this little shirt right here. Anyway, that's that. But what we are going to do is we're going to get into a little bit of toy talk. I actually running pretty. I didn't have a lot to talk about during the monologue, so depending on how much toy news there actually is, this might be a shorter episode, which is fine by me. Some days I do have to have a shorter one. Same time, Toy says, "Punk, thanks for the help with the merch. Too bad I made such a mess of it." Dude, it's a pain in the ass. I don't know if there's, because I use Spreadshirt or Spreadshop. There's like at least three different stores that integrate into YouTube. You don't keep any merchandise on hand. So it's print on demand. I don't know if the other two are easier. I know this was the one I went with, and it's one of those things like it's done. I'll be damned if you think that I'm going back and trying to redo another one, because this one does work when someone does want to buy stuff. So it is one of those. It is one of those things, and you do learn as time goes on, trying to make things work a little bit better. So anyway. Let's get into this stuff, but before we do, I need a breather. And you guys, I don't know, you guys like to hear some interesting stuff. I'll tell you what, there is a show tomorrow that I am on, but there's also a show that I'm not on.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought. Are you watching that show again?
Yes.
Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
You notice who's not on that billboard yet? The junior lawyer, Tony. We have not put him on that billboard yet, especially after he tried breaking up the circle of jerks to go back to his old boss. And then he went and did stuff with GI Custom. Sometimes he turns his back on us and we're like, we're just about to make you a junior partner, and you go and do stuff like that, and you get stuck right back to the junior lawyer. Anyway, 610 Yo Joe Daddy jumping in and saying, hello, chat. Hello, Punk. Hello, chat. Y'all smash that like button and subscribe. And I think I look really bad right now because I'm looking over here and I am super grainy. So can you at least still hear me? This is messed up. It's not even showing me I have any issues, but definitely there's some networking issues right now. I probably should restart my computer completely. But man, is that kind of a pain while you're doing a show. Yes. So pixelated. Extra Creepy says, we hear ya. So I guess that's good here. As long as you can see what's about to come up, we should be good. Lost Ranger says AI Punk. That is one thing you don't need. First off, no one wants an AI version of me. 2, I hate AI. I feel like I'm the only one that's seen Terminator and knows how this all ends. Machine Man is also saying it sounds good. Anyway, I can look. If this looks pixelated, I don't think that it will. Then we'll change some things. But anyway, a little bit of Masters of the Universe. I'm waiting for it to come up here and see how it looks. Masters of the Universe news. Not a lot other than you get the best Mo Tuna sandwich at Mo Tunaverse. So make sure that you get some. Make sure you pick it up. Everyone loves their tuna salad. No one loves a tuna salad. It just sounds nasty as hell. Anyway, let me know if you guys can't hear me. But we get this Skell Knight. Shouldn't it be Skelenite? You know what else I saw at Target is they finally got the Origins He-Man that looks like the original one. I'm pretty sure they just took it out of the box that didn't sell when they sent them back because they're only like 17 or 18 bucks too. It's kind of funny. But anyway, this thing looks pretty damn interesting. Evil Warrior of Skeletor. This looks really good. And I've said this before, like what they've started to do after I got out of Origins, man, I think it's really good. I'm not getting back into it, but yeah. And you have Skell Knight here, Evil Warrior of Skeletor. Skell Knights are fierce warriors who fight against He-Man and the heroic warriors in service of their master Skeletor. And you can see it has, multiple heads. It has multiple overlays. And looks like so pretty cool. I like this type of stuff. It's adding a dimension to Masters of the Universe that or the Origins line that people, at least I think this is Origins. I mean, this is Masters of the Universe. It's from the movie. So the one thing that I found out is I thought the core figures were the new Origins line. Well, come to find out, there are Origins figures. So there are Origin movie figures, which kind of shocked me. And when you see them next to the core one, you're like, holy shit, they're huge. But yeah, and they're actually a little bit cheaper, I think, than the Origins figures. But so there are 3 different lines, and that's actually what my idea was for a topic, and then I kind of changed it. Are there too many lines for properties? We'll talk about that next week. Commander Wolf saying, "What's good, Punk, everyone?" All right, and then we have Ram Man and Moss Man, and I gotta say, that's not my Moss Man. This This is my Moss Man. Oh, hi guys, that is not my Moss Man. I'm the real Mouse Man, and I know I do a phony voice of Moss Man because I'm not the real voice, but I think I sound close enough. And it's kind of funny because a lot of you guys think that a Pug made me, but it was that Ted guy. Ted Division made Moss Man, but I don't like that guy. Although I think he looks like he might be flocked, but then again, he looks like he might not be flocked. So I have to wait for Robo to find out. And when Robo tells me if he's flocked, if you can't touch him, then I know he's okay. So Moss Man does not approve of this Moss Man, and I gotta say, this thing's fucking creepy as shit. Ram Man, again, it looks like a lot of reuse from the Origins. Same with Moss Man, but just kind of creepy. In my personal opinion. Same time Toy says, I used to get the tuna melt at the Woolworth lunch counter. David Dookie, I love tuna salad too with French dressing. Allison says, where is Ted? So Ted so Ted was walking his dog. His dog saw something, bolted, and caught his leg in the mud, and he tripped. And when Ted said when he went to get up, it didn't happen. And I'm talking about this Ted. I believe he said he broke his femur. But I think he meant the lower leg. Matthew, what's the lower, the femur and either way, he snapped his leg. So he is laid up on the couch. He can't go upstairs. I just happened to reach out to him about doing some more Moss Man commercials when he has time, or just Moss Man in general. He can't really move around or anything. So hopefully he gets better soon enough. But yeah, he did. He took a hell of a fall. So Extra Creepy says he looks like the Techno Viking from the video back in the day. It's his little boots or something that makes me think he looks like that. Okay. Sean W. Savage says, will the new Moss Man have the scent? Did Moss Man have a scent? I think, okay, so he said, yeah, so he said I thought he said the femur, but he also was like, but then he was like, I don't know the names of them. And it sounds like from that fall, the tibia or the fibula makes more sense, right? Than the femur, right? Like that just seems to make more sense than your big old bone. So I think that's what happened. I know that's what happened, but I'm not sure what he broke. Let's just say he's in a lot of pain, and he's not the happiest of people right now, which would anyone be? But anyway, so if you want these, this is what you're gonna get. Now, see that definitely here, it doesn't look flocked, but here he definitely looks like his upper body is flocked. So again, if you want this, because you're like, hey, this is Moss Man, this is not Moss Man. I'm just gonna say that. The new one smells like Fabulosa. This one smells like Dr. Squash. Moss Man is wearing boots. Why? That's a damn good question, but he must be wearing it in the movies, because this is specifically for the Masters of the Universe movie, which I want to say this quickly. I haven't seen it, and again, the people that are saying that it's great and everything, again, they're Motu fans, and I would expect that. The one thing that I absolutely love seeing right now is Dolph Lundgren and the guy who plays He-Man. They are doing all kinds of things together, and you never see Michael Keaton doing something with the other Batman or Ben Affleck or the other super. I think it is really cool. And again, he shouldn't hold any animosity because let's be honest, that movie is what 30, 35 years old. But I think it's super cool seeing them do stuff together and talk about like what they both went through in their interviews and everything. But yeah, I actually I think that is I really like what I'm seeing them do. So Allison Troy says it's because Michael Keaton is the only real Batman. Yeah, I agree with you on that. This is what I was talking with my co-host about for the TV terminal. That yeah, I think he might be in the movie because he's there way too much. But either way, it's good that there's not like you don't see this animosity. It's actually a show. It's a movie I'm actually really excited to see. So, but anyway, I wanted to mention that earlier. I'm planning on seeing it this weekend, so I'll be talking about it. I'm assuming. Oh, Allison says the rumor is he's playing King Grayskull. Okay. So, oh, Extra Creepy says one of the statues looks like him in the preview. Well, we will all see soon enough next weekend because I have a feeling most of the nerds here are going to go see it. But anyway, enough with that. On to McFarlane, which there is not much McFarlane news at all. But this Savage Dragon, this goes up for pre-order on May 29th. This is, I believe, their deluxe. This is their elite, so it's the deluxe. I have no connection to the Savage Dragon. Again, he looks like a punk version of the Incredible Hulk. I think that's what he was supposed to look like. But I do have to say this. I think this figure looks really good. And this is where McFarlane really needs to start. Really needs. Oh, is it 2 weeks? Okay, well, in 2 weeks, I'll be saying it. But this looks good. And this is kind of what he comes with. You're gonna get two different guns, different portraits, bunch of different hands. It looks like a unique stand, along with an Image comic. So again, I have no connection to this, but I think this figure looks really, really good. And I think this is one of those things where people are going to be excited for this. And this is where I hope he kind of goes down this road, where he starts hitting the Image comics, because obviously, he's lost the DC stuff, and that's where he's forked out all his, forked everything. And I really do hope that he is able to transition, because he can make some good figures. I don't think it's 100. I think it's 60. Admittedly, I didn't do a lot of research, but I did look at the page that I saw it, and I did not see the price. That's the reason why I didn't put the price on here. So I'm guessing it's going to be around $60, because that's normally what the elite editions are, if I'm correct. But either way, it looks pretty good. And again, Tony says this will be mine. He's acting like it won't be a lot of people's, but that's Tony for you. Junior lawyer in training. And then we have Superpowers. Now, I don't know if any more figures were, if any more pictures were shown off. I didn't see any today. But this will be the next wave of 6, which I believe is Superboy, Supergirl, Power Girl, Green Lantern, some sort of Robin, and then Mechanical Superman. I don't know who Mechanical Superman is. And I believe he's keeping the Superpowers license, right? I think we discussed this. I think this is one license he did work out keeping. So Sean Joins has jumped in saying P. But anyway, that is it for McFarlane. But don't worry, because we're going to get to the Mattel DC. And if you just look right now, Allison is salivating because she is like, it wasn't just Todd. They all have to do at least half waves of Batman. Because that's a lot of Batman already. Allison says Supergirl, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Eradicator, then Cyborg, Superman. That's what it was. Earth 2 Robin, and pre-crisis Power Girl. Who's Eradicator? No. Oh, Eradicator is that Superman, huh? I would not have known that. I know the name though. Let's see here. Eradicated and Cyborg from when they did the death. That's what I thought, but I did not. I did not know that's what his name was. I've heard the name. I didn't realize that was his actual name, Eradicator. So, interesting. At the same time, Toy says no more Jokerize anything. Oh no! Oh, you are so fucking wrong. You are so wrong. All right. So this is the core line. So these are going to be $13. They are 6.5 inches. They are 6.5 inches. They do not have the exact same articulation, but it sounds like their heads will pop off and go on to whatever their collector line is going to be. So we have Batman, Superman, Jokerized Batman, and Green Lantern. It's not Hal Jordan. John Stewart, Green Lantern. Now, the reason why I laughed when Same Time Toys said no more Jokerized anything, what the fuck, was because when we were looking at this line before, there was the Joker Who Laughs Last, and it had head sculpts for every single character in that wave to be Jokerized. So whether or not this is one of those things where they kind of laughed and they went, you know what? Let's just keep this going. The people that designing the Mattel DC stuff, I don't know. But either way, they're still going deep with this. So here we have Man-Bat, another Batman, and Nightwing. Now, again, when you look at these figures, they don't have any ankle articulation. They don't have any thigh articulation, no boot cuts, nothing like that. But the sculpts look good. And if these sculpts look this good, there's no way that the collector line isn't going to look just as good, if not better. And these look better than anything McFarlane did for the most part. Double Dog says, "AK the best Green Lantern." I agree. I always liked total blank. I keep want to say Hal Jordan. I literally just said his fucking name too. John Stewart. I always like John Stewart. And I think a lot of that goes back to I watched the animated series. Whatever the fuck the power. Man, this is what happens. This is when you're like, I need my own break. It's not Super Friends. Justice League, thank you. I could see Justice League. I could see the way it was written, but I kept seeing superpowers in it. Like that's not what it is. Allison says, I personally hate ankle articulation. It's either janky or it's too stiff. Listen, if you don't know how to pose your figures, that's fine. But no ankle articulation. Like, you've just eliminated posing the figures. um, let's see here. I'm probably in the minority, Sean W. Savage says, but I'm a big Guy Gardner fan. I am not, and I think you are. I think you are in the minority. I love the Green Lanterns. I just think they're actually. I just the idea of the Green Lantern I think is really fucking cool. But anyway, here's your Man Bat, your Robin. I'm sorry, your Nightwing and your Batman. Here is our John Stewart, and you can again you can see the lacking of the articulation. But again, these are $13. So if you're telling me you're giving me this for $13 when Super 7 wants to give fucking reaction figures that are $25 and have 5 points of articulation that are 3.75, fuck you, dude. Seriously. But like, let's be honest, you are not getting this figure to stay posed like this for too long. There is no doubt about it at all. We got Render Boy jumping in saying, hi, Punk. Great to see you here. Allison says, I like Guy Gardner, but he's not the best Green Lantern. I agree with that. And then we have one Shooter Plex jumping in here and quickly.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Saying best Green Lantern was Ryan Reynolds. Unpopular opinion. I enjoyed the movie. It was not a good movie, but I had fun watching the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. All right, I'm just gonna say it. Cypher 63 says their calves are as thick as his thighs. Dude, some people are blessed genetically with big calves. But here you do get a good, you get a good picture of Superman taking off in flight. But again, no ab crunch. And again, I'm okay with this for $13. I'm not buying them. But it tells me that, hey, these ones look this good. We know that the collectors are going to have to be this good. The Batman looks good. I guess I'm impressed, and everyone has been impressed with this. Yeah, a Cyber 63, Superman looks. They all look good. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just basically take those head sculpts and maybe give them a little bit more paint on the collector ones. Devil Dog says it was awesome to have the Green Lantern's core on the big screen. Yes. Again, there was something I really did enjoy about that movie. It was just fun. Wasn't great, but my son really liked it. At the time he was young, so there's that to it. All right, so here is Who Laughs Last Joker. I'm sorry, Batman. Jokerized. Whatever. I think it's kind of comical that they're doing it, and they're doing it with the kids line too. So he's got the big fists, the green batarang. Again, I find this comical. And I got this picture again for some reason. All right, so you gotta love this. This made me laugh because they're like, here, kids, these are all the accessories you're gonna get on a tree. So you get to pop them all off, just like some of the old G.I. Joe stuff that I know I used to get. I know there's a lot of other toys. So anyway, Superman is getting some chains to break. He's getting his plate carrier, a bending I-beam. Again, pretty cool stuff. And again, just kind of creating stuff. Same time Troy says that Iron Beam is pretty cool. Yeah, people for $13, I'm like, you're gonna give me a chain and an Iron Beam? Yeah, I'll probably pick it up. I hope this Green Lantern stuff glows in the dark. I doubt it does, but let's be honest, man. The ring or the lantern on his chest, all these accessories, they should all glow in the dark. And again, that head sculpt might look better than anything that McFarlane did. which is sad because he used to make wonderful sculpts. So here we have another, here's the Batman. Let's see. It has handcuffs, multiple handcuffs. I have no idea what the little bomb is, but 3 different head sculpts to pop onto them. And again, the Joker one comes with 3 different head sculpts that go on with the figures that come out in the wave. And yeah, I think it's really smart. Tony, this looks great. I mean, for a core line for kids, like this is normally where it gets mailed. They just mail it in. And again, I understand taking away. I think most people do. I understand why you're taking away, the ankle articulation, boot cuts, and thigh cuts, and like there's a reason why you're taking it away. You're trying to sell these specifically to kids. But this may also have been that like we can't show these off yet. Like we can't show the collector stuff off, but we can show this off, and we want the collectors to know, hey, it's in good hands. So Mattel is fair with pricing for their non-collector lines. He-Man movie figures are $10. Oh no, I agree. Mattel's always been pretty decent with it. So here's this Batman. I have no idea what the big piece is here. It's a door. It's a bat door. But you got these batarangs. Looks like mines. But yeah. Let's see a figure freak jumping in and saying, oh, faceplates. Faceplates, I think not head sculpt. No, if I believe the joke, and the ones that we were just looking at, those are faceplates. So those are faceplates. I believe, because we didn't even talk about it. We didn't even, like, no one said anything. If you go back and you look at the actual Joker, Who Laughs Joker, there's 3 head sculpts, and they all go to the characters in that wave. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you saw it before. And maybe I just totally missed when I was looking at it. But I thought those were head sculpts. I don't think there were face masks that went over it. And I forget what figures they were. I obviously still have them somewhere in my old slides, but I could be completely wrong. So, Evil Dookie says my 7-year-old would be pissed if he can't pose them. You can still pose them. They're just not going to have the same posability. And again, if the issue is that your 7-year-old is used to playing with like your toys because you've taught them, the higher end ones will be coming out rather soon. So it's a bat stretcher. I don't know if you're being funny or not. All right, and then we get Robin and his cycle. And now this guy has... Now, if you're looking at this, he clearly has thigh cuts. No double pinless joints or no double jointed elbows. It almost looks like his boots may swivel. I mean, maybe that's just the articulation, but it looks like the boots may actually swivel. And maybe that all has to do with the fact that they want him riding his little cycle. But this Robin looks good. Like, all of this stuff looks awesome. Evil Doogie says, the issue is I created a monster. And Tristan T jumping in saying, howdy everyone, great to see you. Blue Barnella says it's a bar Iron Maiden. Okay. But anyway, here's the I don't know why I say super villains. But you can kind of see the back of the packaging, what's going to come with it. Again, I think adults are actually excited for this line. So and there you go. So I saw this. So somewhere along the line, someone at Mattel said, you know what? This is the core line. This is for kids. Let's just put Robin in here. And yeah, we'll just strap a couple bands to him, and no one will fucking steal it. If you don't find this Robin on day one, there's a good chance that you're never going to see this Robin, because let's be honest, he is going to be stolen like you wouldn't believe. Like, he is literally just sitting there going, steal me. Unless if I'm missing how he's strapped in, but this thing is just, it is, I mean, it's being asked to be stolen. And that absolutely sucks for the most part. So, Tuesday says it looks like he's driving a space tractor. Okay, I kind of see it. I kind of see it. All right. So we have Batman versus Killer Croc, another 2-pack, because we don't want to leave out the Batman. Killer Croc looks like he has some sort of netting over him. It looks like he is that not Moss Man, but Merman's sword. But yeah, you're gonna get a whole bunch of stuff here. Batman, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and Mr. Freeze. So, I mean, these core figures are going to have everything like right away. Then we have Batman and Clayface. Am I the only one that found out like a week or two ago that there's a Clayface movie coming out that is based in the DC universe? Am I the only one that just found that out? Bobby Wold says, you think with Bruce Wayne being a billionaire, he get Robin something a little more fancy than a big wheel. Remember your big wheels? Like, they get the flat spots because they were hollow plastic tires. And you always knew what friend, and sometimes you were the friend that was coming down the road. Oh. Figure Freak says that is definitely not a bike my Knox will be driving. Why not? But anyway, there's your Killer Croc and your other Batman with his mermaid weapon. And again, like, these are for kids, and they're good. I mean, the fact that we're talking about them, and I'm not the only person talking about this, talking about these on a show for adults. Like, I think it's all giving us a good feel for what we're going to have. All right, on to NECA. I know nothing about this. I'm not a horror guy. I didn't even realize Terrifier was a real thing till a few months ago. But clearly there's like 18 fucking Terrifier movies that I had no idea that there was even one. If you want me to be perfectly honest. So anyway, this is the Terrifier 3 Ultimate Art the Clown Bloody Santa suit, $39.99. So that's the standard price for NECA stuff. Let's see here. 3-star still talking about the other figures that we have to DC. Yeah, the Clayface movie looks badass too. Dude, like, I did not know. Like, Olivia was like, no, there's a Clayface in Batman. I'm like, I don't think this is real. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit, this is like a real movie. Like, talk about not having any hype. Talk about not having any hype. It's kind of crazy. Blue Barnella says, is Mattel trying to out Snake Eyes Hasbro with all the Batman? Oh, dude. Dude, it's not even... First off, Snake Eyes doesn't even compare to Batman. Like, what McFarlane has done, I mean, Snake Eyes can't even... McFarlane has probably created more Batman in his line than all of the different Snake Eyes ever created, going from version 1 all the way through every single version. I bet McFarlane has done more. But yeah. So let's see here. But anyway, here we go. So he's got a chainsaw. I always say, and that can make some amazing accessories. The problem is you never see them go on sale. Bobby Will says that new scary movie spoof of the Terrifier giving out gifts to the kids made me laugh. So here he is. The funny thing is, the reason why I found out who the Terrifier was due to Shark Eyes. So when I see this, I honestly God think of Shark. So yeah, that's who I think of every time I see this, because he was the one who was like, dude, you gotta watch it. It's fucking cool. I'm like, yeah, I really don't give two shits about horror movies. You know. Mad Drop saying McFarlane DC line is 85% Batman. It's not, but there is a lot. There is a lot. I think we all can agree there is an awful amount. But anyway, I have no idea what this character is, but I do like to cover NECA. Again, sometimes their figures are great. Other times you're like, why don't we move into the 2000s and have some sort of articulation that works with it? 3-star says Terrifier is most definitely a horror movie you'd care to watch, Punk. So I'm not into horror movies like that. So yeah, to me it doesn't. I don't know. I've never had any interest. Clearly, I've never seen it. I didn't even realize what it was. So, most definitely not. Again, I mean, I like the original Halloween, stuff like that. I actually think Halloween is so much better than Friday the 13th, the original ones. Like the story was just better. It was better. But anyway, we're talking about this guy and all his awesome, cool accessories. He does have a pointy nose. I've known some people with no noses like this. No wonder why he's angry. Tony's face says Terrifier is so stupid. I'm sorry. Well, I guess we will not be seeing Terrifier at Joe Fest. Devil Dog says, saw Terrifier 3 in theaters and a girl ran out of the theater twice. It was hilarious. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. When I'm quickly scanning over this, again, I'm doing this all by myself. I saw Terrifier 3. It was hilarious. I did not read the middle section until I highlighted it. That was not what I was expecting. Lego Star Wars kid jumping in here. Definitely don't watch those movies with your daughter. She'll watch stuff with her friends. I don't know if she's that much into horror. Right now she's getting the anime, which I'm like, whatever. She just came in here. I haven't seen her for 2 weeks because she's been at her mom's. And she got 2 new shirts, some anime shirts. I'm like, okay. I tell everyone I try and take my naps, try and take my nap before the show. I didn't work today, so it wasn't but I did come up here, and then here she comes, boom, boom, boom. And she could do 3-hour Monday Night Toy Ramblings easily. I think half of it is she likes to tell me stuff. Part of it she likes to tell me stuff. Part of it is she knows I'm going to give her a straight answer and I'm going to make jokes about not wanting to hear about it. But in the end, she knows that I'm just going to sit there and listen to it. But she made the mistake of calling, or I actually called her when I was on my way to Home Depot. And I go, well, she's like, I got to tell you what happened. I was like, well, you got a little bit of time. Go ahead, put my Bluetooth in. And I was listening to her and she's telling me, and she didn't really like my answer. And I'm like, hey, you have to apologize. What you did was wrong. And she really wasn't expecting that, but she listened to what I had to say. And even though she didn't want to apologize, she had to apologize to her friend because I'm like, you made this about you and it wasn't supposed to be about you. So I'm pretty proud of her that she understood that. But she told me she didn't want to. I'm like, hey, you kind of sound like your mom now. Anyway, Terrifier is another Terrifier is available if you want it. Lost Rangers says, yeah, lots of kids getting blown up in the house. All right. 3-star says Terrifier puts every 80s horror trope in a blender and adds a gallon of blood, guts, and shit. Then adds crack. All right. Well, I wasn't expecting that. But here's everything that you get. Now, once again, if NECA ever went on sale, people would buy the stuff up for the accessories. You got chainsaw, and almost all of their accessories, most of them are unique to that property. We don't see a lot of crossover. Again, I walk out and I look at a Marvel Legends and I can be like, wow, they used that hand on 43 different characters this week. Everything is a little bit different. Tuesday says, I wish I was joking too. Same time Troy says you have to get it for the cookies. Oh shit. Yes. I think I have cookies. I have actually, now that you say it, I didn't even realize it. I have the Big Bad Workshop Santa Claus with cookies. Anyway, so I'm tired of looking at this stupid thing. Here's the box. If you're interested, go out and get it. Have fun with it. There you go. Super 7. Oh, my favorite company. Oh, look. And look who shows up on cue as we are showing off cookies. Baldy Locks, who I think, are we having a show tomorrow? I never know. He says this is too scary. Baldy has a weaker stomach than I do. Certain things that we have talked about in general, like when we're talking about stuff and people showing stuff off, and he's like, my wife looked at it and was like, you can't look at this. Stuff like this. So the Thundercats Ultimate Lino and Burbles. This is a BBTS exclusive for $150. Now, I know Robo mentioned this, but I mean, I had seen it too. It looks like those ropes are sculpted in. Now, here's some of the accessories they come with. This is $150. BBTS exclusive. Not. I'm one that always says don't play clearance chicken if you want something. But if you don't think this thing was going to be half off in 6 months, you are sadly mistaken. Same time Toy says, I can't spend $150 on 2 burbles. Yeah, I think most people are going to agree with you. So Lost Ranger says $150 is kind of silly. Well, you're looking at $65, which is what their standard price is, right? But when you start to see everything that you're going to get, yeah. So here they are. You're going to get 2 of these characters. And then you get this Lion-O. So this is everything that it comes with. Now, you have 2 Burbles, which look to be the exact same character. You have Lion-O with his Sword of Omens collapsed, and also his gauntlet. It looks like there's 2 bugs, the food, the triangle to let people know. You notice there are no extra hands for Lionel. There's only a set of hands for one Burble, which is kind of all right, but I'm paying $150 for two figures that are the exact same, literally the exact same. A Lionel, which my question really is, do his arms move? Every picture is like this. It almost looks like his arms don't move. Now, I can see a cut here. I can see the articulation, but I think we all know that Super 7 normally don't pose like this. So it makes me think that they sculpted something completely new. Well, they must have, because they put these ropes on him. It's just bad. Like, a cool idea, but for $150? I mean, again, I don't know why Super 7 doesn't get this shit. I mean, they're literally like bleeding fucking money. And yet they're like the only ones that don't understand this. 3-star says, this shit will be 40% off by Christmas. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I know I tell people, hey, if you want something, just get it. Don't play that clearance chicken. But let's be honest, I can't see this thing selling out. Steve Martin jumping in here, totally missed it. Good evening, peoples. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I wish. This company has great ideas, yet how they execute it is just, it's so asinine. So, TK says, Super 7, 20% off Ultimate sale this week was laughable. You mean because you go elsewhere and find it already sold out? Alice says, to be honest, if you're into BDSM, Lionel playing 150 is probably part of the overall experience. I should read shit before I should read it first before I highlight it. Auto Misfit jumping in here. How's it going? Something's wrong something's been wrong at Super 7 for quite some time. Mr. Wonderful jumping in here, still waiting on the finished product of my Hexa stacks. It would have been nice that all the stuff that I displayed today, that I would have been able to stack them behind, but what can you do, right? SCS Doc says ropes are introduced and now everyone is kink shaming Super 7. No, we're not kink shaming Lionel. He's allowed to have his kinks. Oh shit. Anyway, so it's the Thundercats Ultimate Story Scene Bundle, Episode 3, Burbles, April 2026, BBTS store exclusive. But here's my thing. Do I blame Super 7 or do I blame BBTS for saying, yeah, this one will sell out. Let's buy some more from you, Super 7. Let's get another exclusive. I mean, the only thing funnier is that when Big Bad Workshop says that this is a BBTS exclusive. Yeah, they all are. Lego Star Wars kid says, didn't Lionel purposely get captured by them? Are you saying that's his kink? All right. About the Big Bad Workshop. What's his safe word? Dirty knives. We got Stark Road's BBTS and what is it? Hoju Jitsu, BDSM, and furries. There are probably quite a few people interested. All right. So maybe this one is going to sell out. All right. The safe word is Mumra. It wouldn't be Jaga. Lost Ranger, Thundercats Ho takes new meaning now. Thank you guys. I know a lot of you say, and again, I get this, and people message me and they say, thank you so much. You make my Mondays go by. This is the type of shit that makes this show the best. It has nothing to do with me. It's your guys' quick wit. This is the type of shit that makes me laugh. And you make, again, like there are days that I just don't want to do this show. Today I didn't want to do this show. Reading these comments, it definitely makes me laugh. So thank you. This makes leaving something on a screen way longer than it should be funny. Isn't Lionel a minor? Those Brumbles are on the list. That is very true. Bobby Wold says, I saw that their Madman went up this week. Okay, so let's get into this here. Man, we'll come back to that. It having many hands makes sense now. He does have shocker hands, doesn't it? It does look like those have some shocker hands. Thanos Copter, if you are tuning in, you better get this when this is on clearance. That's all I'm saying. All right. Same time says this is always one of the best chats around. Thank you very much. The Epstein Bills. Wade Hollinson, a puss tied up by a couple of bears. Oh my gosh. Furries in bondage sounds like a hell of a night. I bet the Burbles built the Whopper in the war game because they have the exact voice. Is that a litter box on the but that set is missing the fist. Carlos, not Rachel jumping in here. All right, we gotta move on. So on to Big Bad Workshop, and we do see Longbox Heroes Prestige Madman. This is $39.99. I have no idea what this is, who he is. I feel like I've seen this kind of in passing before this. Bobby Wool jumping in. He says, I saw that their Madmen went up this week, and their other characters like Sky Captain and Rocketeer going up also. Those NPC characters like the gangsters. They said they're supposed to go up this summer, but I'm not sure exactly when. So it'll be interesting. Now, I know nothing about this character. The one thing that I do know is that if you're on the fence about something for BBTS or the Big Bad Workshop, if it sells out, they don't like to redo stuff. They jump in price. So if you're like, hey, I think I might pick this up, I'm not sure, you might want to just grab it and put it in your pile of loot. And then you decide that you don't want it, then you just cancel it and you're going to get your money back, right? That is my best advice to you. I have no idea what this character is. He is unique. he has a pretty cool. I remember that gun, that game, not game, but kind of that gun there. It's Viper Skull says it's Shazam, right? Yeah, pretty much. I have no idea what he is, but anyway, it's, if you want it, there you go. It's there for you. Shell President's jumping in here. Please say it, Lionel. Thunder, yes. Thunder, yes. Thundercat. Oh, I see we're still on the Burbles. Stark Road says he's basically the character they ripped from Freakazoid. I have no what Freakazoid is. Lego Star Wars Kid says if BPS doesn't give us another run of Cops and Crooks Bulletproof, so I don't know if they're going to. They didn't know how well that was going to do. I was watching a live stream with Mike from Big Bad Workshop, and he specifically said that Bill does not like to do reruns. I have a feeling that one they'll do it again, only because it was a one-off. I mean, I know they're doing more, but they didn't do a wave of them. I have a feeling they will do that again, or at least another version of it. Because I only ordered that because I hate that PayPal credit changed this. It used to be $99. You get interest free for 6 months. They went up to $150, and it's way more difficult to add something to get it to $150, especially at $89, right? But I needed to hit that $150 just to get that 6 months. And again, if anyone's wondering why you do this, again, I take everything that I make through Amazon, YouTube, Entertainment Earth, everything goes right into it. So then I have time to pay it off. That was the only reason why I bought it, because I needed to go over it. And I got to say, and I was talking to Ed, my moderator, he said the same thing. I really didn't want it. And then I watched your review and some other people's reviews, and I saw with the trench coat, it pretty much hides his mechanical body so he doesn't look stupid. So, yeah. But hopefully for the people that want it, they do it. Anyway, back to this guy. I don't know what Madman is, but he comes with a guitar, comes with a disc gun. He has a hand that's throwing discs, and this is your typical, your typical hands from BBTS. I'm not a big fan of how their thumbs fit. I've said that before. They kind of get in the way with triggers, with guns and the grips and stuff. 3 different portraits, so we can see the difference. See what's different here. So again, if you're interested in this is all yours. You go get it. Suffering says Alfred came out with Mad Men in 90 and Freakazoid was 95 with W. Again, I have no idea any of this stuff. Cal Shave says Punk, that's a yo-yo hand. So he has a Shazam yo-yo. I can see it now. It looked like it was like a Gambit hand, like he's like throwing little circular discs, but now I see that it's a yo-yo. Bobby Walt says, whenever that one figure like Sky Captain comes out, I hope someone like Ace will do a Curtis P-40 Warhawk. Yeah. Remember, Ace has to have an incentive to do it and know that he's going to make his money back. But all right, on to G.I. Joe. Like I said, I think it's going to be a shorter episode, but there's more G.I. Joe in here than I would have thought. And here we have Super 7. Now, there is a 4th figure in this wave. So we're going to get a Deep 6. This is from the comic. I think this stuff is cool. This is what Super 7 does right. Lady J without the hat. We get Zartan, which changes color in the sun, which I know everyone wants, and no one's really going to do it, so I don't know why people really care. Then we have a Ninja Force Cobra Commander, which I was told by, I believe it was Terry from, I think he's still on the Circle with Jerks, I don't know, that this was an unproduced figure. Like they never did a Cobra Commander. And then we have another Ninja Force Snake Eyes, which is a completely different character. And I actually think this one looks really, really cool. So I do like the way this Snake Eyes does look. Now, people, you gotta stop jumping. Like you see these on, you see these go up, and you gotta stop jumping on every single fucking Facebook group saying, "I need these in classified now." Like, first off, calm down. No, you don't. Even if they do make it, you don't need it right now. There's more than enough classified stuff that's coming out. So, but here we go. We got Deep Six, the deep sea diver. These are the types of figures that I'm interested in because they've never done anything like this. And I like that. But I've said before, when it comes to, yes, classified now. Sailor Deep Six. Maybe this is the Deep Six everyone is getting in classified, right? So looking at this here.
Did you order it?
No, I said we'll talk about it later.
We talked about it when you were halfway asleep. Did you forget?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Oh, I'm gonna get a new phone.
No, you're not. Anyway,
Guys, donate more to get Olivia a new phone.
go away. But I've said this about Super 7. I will not buy anything sight unseen. They've shown off some stuff that looks really good, and then you see it in hand, and it looks like total dog shit. And I would just go back to Deadeye's Cover Girl. That thing is completely dead-eyed. And it is what it is, right? So, Blue Barnella says, we do need another Snake Eyes in Classified. Don't worry, you're going to get them. Just leave it at that. You're going to get more Snake Eyes. And you're going to like it. You're going to enjoy it, and you're going to love it. We got Super Davin jumping in here. I heard it says Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas Deep Six. Action Fig says you need this figure to go with your 3 points. Now, again, that is exactly what I was thinking. Because he would fit in perfectly with, there is Leatherneck and I think Bazooka, and they look like they are fishing, and this guy will fit in perfect. I need to get that Little People, is it Little People? Adventure People fishing boat, the blue and white one once again. T-Star says, Joe Fast exclusive, Jaundice twins. Yes, thank you. But anyway, I like this. And if I see it, then I might change my mind. Lady J here. Now, okay. I got a couple things here. I don't mind this. I don't think the Lady J sculpt looks that bad. They were kind of ragging on it. I don't think it looks awful compared to a lot of Lady J's that we've seen. She does look like, what the fuck am I doing here? Now, there is someone that has these in hand. And if you go on the Full Force, he posted pictures of it. I don't know who it is. He did. He put his watermark through it. I did not use any of his pictures for one reason. I'm sorry if I'm going to shame you. Cut your fucking fingernails. It is absolutely disgusting. It looks like fucking Freddy Krueger, the guy that has this in hand. Now, I've seen people kind of like mention my fingernails, and I do not let my fingernails get long. I also don't chew them, so they're not super fucking short. But the guy that has these in hand, the fingernails are absolutely disgusting. There is no way in hell that I was even thinking of showing him on here, but he does have them in hand, like showing him with, like her holding the spear and stuff like that. You can go the full force. He put them up there. Clearly, it didn't bother him, but I looked at that and was like, I don't, fuck that, dude. That is disgusting, man. Like, at what point did you not look at that picture and went, yeah, and today's on Punk's Peep, dude, seriously, go to the Full Force Facebook page, go look at the pictures, and come back and tell me that doesn't fucking bother you. And if you're one of these people that have the long fucking fingernails going, wait a minute, I got long fingernails, cut them. All right. The things are like fucking $3. All right. If you can't afford $3 to cut your fucking fingernails, let me know. I'll buy you a set at fucking Joe Fest and give them to you. Whew. Okay. Anyway, on to Zartan color changing. So did you go and look at what I'm talking about? I'm assuming that's what you're the booger hooker. Dude, listen, those fucking fingernails are so long he doesn't need to stick his fucking fingers up his fucking nose because his fucking nails are long enough. Woo! All right. Will R saying it's ma'am, Jay. All right. But yeah, this is, again. So here we go. This is color changing. Now, it sounds like there is a bow behind him, but both of these arrows look like they are, both these arrows look like there's no like tips to them. So I don't know. I'm having a hard time like understanding this is Zartan. Now, again, everyone loves this UV changing, this color changing skin, right? The truth is, no one really gave a shit about that color changing Zartan when we were kids. It was fun for that first day, and then you probably hardly ever played outside with him to watch him change. And everyone wants it in classified. Yet half of the people that collect classified, more than half the people, just stick them on a shelf. And then the people that leave them in boxes that never see it. So I could care less about a color changing Zartan. All right, it was a cool gimmick as a kid, but the way some of these people lose their fucking minds about having it just makes no sense. But hey, here's one that you can get, and then you can go cry to, Hasbro that they don't make it. But remember, look right up at the top here, this is ages 14 and up. Allison says maybe he does ASMR and those nails pay the bills. Maybe. But then he should ask somebody else to show off the fucking figures. Supposedly the bow is behind him. But and in the pictures with fucking Freddy Krueger, he does show a bow. All right. My only thing is, like, I don't see a bow here. Everything that Lady J comes with is right there. Same with Deep Six. Like, they show everything. And the reason why I don't, again, they showed there was a bow. Remember, Super 7 did figures. They did skateboarding figures without skateboards. Because, yes, that company. But anyway, here we go. Color changing Zartan if you want it. Now we get to Ninja Force. And here's Snake Eyes. And I know this is not the Snake Eyes that people have had. I think this color scheme is really good. This is what I think is actually cool. Now, I've said before, these figures should all have articulated wrists. Why anyone argues with me that they don't want articulated wrists makes no sense to me whatsoever. Tell me you've never posed your figures without telling me you never posed your figures. Because articulated wrist changes absolutely everything. You can actually pose an O-ring. But this is how the Ninja Force came, giving him the tree, everything tied to it. I actually think this is pretty cool. All right. Dirty Knife says, even as a kid, I used the color changing feature once. And exactly. Like you used it and then boom, that was it. Every now and then you take it outside to see it change, and you never really gave two shits about it. Chris says long, ugly nails. It's not Chris. Into Mystery says Mortal Kombat Snake Eyes. We got Big M jumping in here saying, "What's up, Lawrence?" and chat. Yeah, I do like this color scheme, but I don't need anyone jumping in again. Like I said, going to every single Facebook group saying we need these now. Like I saw a bunch of people doing it. It's like, dude, like there's so much shit coming out. Just give it time. All right, maybe they'll get to something like this. But so yeah, I do like the idea of this, and I like the fact that hey, this is. I know you're trying to do what a continuation of a real American hero. And I'm cool with that. But the articulation is something. And again, before anyone says, no, they're doing exactly what they did in the 80s and the 90s, that's not true. Because look at how they're designed. They've already broken that mold. They've already broken that they paint the figures' faces rather than actually using that like skin tone colored plastic. So they're not painting it. Like they've already broken that mold. So people got to stop saying that. Yeah, you know, they're just continuing. No, they're not. It's already broken. So evolve it. And then here we have the Cobra Commander. This Cobra Commander looks fat. Maybe it's just the cape makes it look like his legs go in. This Cobra Commander looks like he's packed on a couple pounds. But once again, we have a little tree here that has all of the weapons that you're going to break off. I don't remember that being fun as a kid. I remember it being more annoying than anything. But yeah, if you want these, and again, these are some that I will take a look at. And if I see them and you know, they seem to, you know, find the right price point, I might pick them up. Viper Scout says, I wonder how much this will be. Look at all the accessories. It's going to be deluxe price. I hope not, but there's a good chance you might be right. You may be right, to be honest. Allison says, first you go off on some dude's nails, and now you're fat shaming Cobra Commander. Did someone pee in your Cheerios, Larry? No, who would do that? I don't let people in my fucking house. Oh, Viper and soft goods too. Yeah, you're right. Soft goods on this guy. So anyway, there you go. If you want these, they will be available. I think they're going to be $25. All right. On to what no one wanted, yet they seem to be selling, which makes me laugh. Now, I will once again say that I don't care about these. This is not something that I am interested in. If this gets kids into G.I. Joe, cool. If you are an adult and you like Turtles and you like G.I. Joe and you see a crossover and you want it, cool. This is not for me, but it is G.I. Joe and is probably one of the few ways that I will talk Turtles. So we'll look at them. So quickly, Shredder looks good. $17.99. These are on BBTS. So Shredder looks good. I like the blue. It just works. You have Cobra Commander as blow dryer. He also has a nice sword. Like sometimes these things just work, and this is a case where it just works. So there's Cobra Commander. There is the box. Now the box is actually pretty cool as Cobra Commander, Shredder, and you have the crossover Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, a real reptilian hero. Now, remember, these are made by Playmates, not Hasbro. So that is the reason why you will see a different price point, because I was watching, God, who was it last night? I know some of you were in there. Who were you watching last night? Swish Pop. There are a few people in there. I think it was actually either Menhoza or not Rachel. And, they said, something about how someone that, this, Hasbro charges a certain point, but someone that is paying a royalty fee to them is charging less. Well, they are an inch and a half smaller. Articulation isn't even close. Paint's not even close. And I don't think anyone will ever say that Playmates is even on par with what Hasbro does with action figures. So I think that is why you're seeing a different price point. And you're going for a different collector. It was, yep, I knew it was one of you. And again, your questions are, if they were classified scale, I think it would be more, I think it would be more comparable. But when it comes to something like this, I mean, again, you look at the articulation in it. They all have pins. They don't have the same articulation. They're smaller. And let's be honest, they know the Turtles are going to sell. They always do. But here is your Krang Destro, which, again, I'm not interested. Does not. A matter of fact, this one actually creeps me out, to be 100% honest. All right. I always thought Krang actually was pretty creepy to begin with. Again, not for me, but hey, other people enjoy it, so cool. I don't have to buy it. Matter of fact, I saw this and I went, wow, something that's saving me money. Shell Present says, yeah, all the villains look better than the Turtles. Krang, Destro, / Storm Shadow look great. They're not going with great. The Shredder Cobra Commanders, I agree. Like I do think that one shooter plex. I do think that one looks really, really good. So here we have Donatello as Dialtone and his little mustache, which definitely makes me laugh. He has a little Prodder. And then he has his classic backpack. So, I mean, I like the idea. This, again, like this here is this is like you would see this in an episode of the Turtles where they're dressing up as someone because he's got the beret on and he has like the mustache, and he's going into a restaurant so he can order some pizza or something. Donatello's Red Jeremy. Holy shit, he does look like Red Jeremy. It does look like Ron Jeremy. All right, so here we have the Roadblock version with these little stars. And again, I gotta say this. Kudos to them for integrating these two, integrating the two companies as well as they did. But again, something I'm going to save my money on, which makes me happy. But you can actually probably hold this better than some of the miniguns that Classified has given us. All right. So here is your Roadblock, who is Ralph. And they do a really good job of recreating, the packaging. So you do get a file card. Now, we know the 5L, that's 5 language. That is something handed down by Hasbro. Technically, they don't have to do that. But they do that to keep the packaging the same across the board. So they don't have to have some for the USA and then some for overseas. Again, to me, it's literally called a real American hero. They should really give them file cards. Even if they're digital. And I know they're starting to, but they've had the stories already written down. They easily all they have to do is make a few changes. But that is Hasbro being a little cheap, to be honest. All right, here we have Ripper. And again, they clearly looked at the classified one and the original Real American Hero, and they made it work. Then we get Buzzer, and that is Buzz. How many of you are going to buy this just so you can get a hopefully classified scale Buzzer chainsaw? Because everyone complained that chainsaw is not enough like Buzzers. They want the original. Well, this one looks way more close to that. So Rocksteady here, 19 points of articulation, which again, if you want to talk about articulation quickly, I have a grunt right here. I mean, he has, what does classified have? Let's see, 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I think at least like 26 points of articulation. So they have way more. And I was quickly going over it. There's different articulations. But yeah. So I think you see why there's such a different price point. I know I'm not ordering this to put on my aircraft carrier before anyone even asks. Michelangelo. Now, again, I do think this is unique because, hey, this is kind of what he came with as an O-ring figure. And they take Michelangelo's nunchucks, and they've created pretty much the perfect recreation. So I do think this is smart on their part. All right. So, and then we have Snake Eyes as Leonardo. I think we all know it just works. This kind of reminds me of the Fortnite Snake Eyes. He does have Snake Eyes actual swords, as you can see right there. He comes with Snake Eyes Uzi. So 2 swords, the Uzi. And again, this one probably fits the best, to be 100% honest, when it comes to the Turtles. 3-star says, good God, man, they've even turned Shipwreck into a ninja. Shipwreck is still just a deck washer. But there you go. And then we get this guy here, which is Storm Shadow. This is Slash. This actually works. And it is unique colors. I gotta say that. So I remember Slash, but I don't know. Is Slash good or is he bad? Who knows? It's so much I care about Ninja Turtles. 3-star, I want West Virginia Ninja with a judo chop. If you don't know, Darren, you can't post links, but post what is it? Is that the guy's name? West Virginia Ninja judo chop. Type in Judy chop. And is it Ninja Star? Like, what are the keywords to search that guy? Whatever it is, post in the chat. You guys got to see Judy chop. It's so awesome. Andrew Davis says, who's cramming classifieds into those vehicles? Oh, I think you're gonna have so many. Ninja Star. Okay, so look up Ninja Star. Hillbilly Ninja. All right, so I do think the April looks pretty good. She does come with the Awe Striker. And I'm sure there are people who have already lost their mind that they made this closer to the All Striker than what the classified one was. Again, classified isn't supposed to be the original. This, they're clearly taking cues from the original figures. But $47.99. I think the April does look good. The All Striker looks good too. Hold on one second. I gotta yell at something. He starts licking his paws, and then everything gets wet around where he's licking. But I do like the way this All Striker looks. It's got some cool rims. I do wonder if it'd fit the O-ring figures and how well it would fit the O-ring figures. But she looks pretty good. It's the first time I'm really looking. She has a camera crossbow. And hey, all right, not Rachel. I'm gonna agree with you. How come she can get a microphone, but Cold Slither can't? Why is she allowed to, but he doesn't? Yes, Judy Chop, Ninja Kick. I'm so watching that when I'm done with the show. I'm so watching. All right. Oh, literally, as I say that, Darren sent me a link. I'm losing my voice here. I like this that it says it fits the entire turtle team. What's funny is it's like April comes with the All Striker, and then like, hey bitch, hang on the side. I'm driving this thing. He said as small as she looks in the all classified, it might just fit. Yeah, no, someone's gonna do it, and they're gonna cram someone in there. I think when you get this, we're gonna see exactly how much smaller it is compared to the All Striker. Devil Dog says, when you got to report the news, but also put an arrow in Ninja. Oh, shit. I will say it again. This channel, this show is nothing without you guys. So thank you very much. Viper Skull says, too bad she's not O-ring. Scoop could have had a friend. Carla says, I'm telling you, Larry, what the hell, Hasbro? Lost Ranger, maybe we'll get a Turtles crossover Terrifier. Turtle X Terrifier crossover at some point. Why not? Why not? But here's everything that she does come with, along with the vehicle. Here's the packaging for it. She does look really tiny compared to the other figures, at least what we're seeing here. But yeah, this is definitely interesting. Here's her file card, which you do get a full file card, and it's showing you everything that it does. So, the All Shall Striker, which makes me kind of laugh. All right, on to the Dragonfly, I forget what it's called. $53.99. Now, there is an Amazon exclusive that is sold out, and we'll talk about that. Now, when these things first showed up, and we were debating whether they were fake or not, I still want to think they're fake. Some of the reason why I thought this was fake was because of the dial to make the rotor spin, which I was wrong. So we have the katana blades spin. Oh my God, they're katana blades. Holy shit. Anyone else notice? Those are actual katana blades rather than just the propellers. But it has that same action that the original Dragonfly did. We get a working repel line, which is good. even though you can't really use it. Like, it's great. It's better to pick things up than to drop people. Missile firing action, which is another thing that I did want to, another topic that I had. But this is still, I guess, this is still something. The cockpit opens and fits 2 figures. So you can see those fit pretty nicely. Someone's going to try and fit a classified in there. Now, this here, I did not see coming. I did not have this on my bingo card. Ooze dropping dumpster. Ooze sold separately. So, this is really going to fucking piss off a lot of people. I mean, a lot of parents. So there you go. Here's everything that this one does come with. A couple bombs. Literally fist rackets. And it's 20.5 inches long, which is pretty long. So there's the turtle fly copter with spinning katana blades. Here's the back of it, showing you everything. And then we get the Amazon exclusive, which was $60. And the exclusive is the Wild Bill Roadblock. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't make sense. The Wild Bill Roadblock. Anyway, you can see who it is. It's a Roadblock Ralph, but it's more like Wild Bill. So this is what you do get. You get this extra figure. Everything else seems to be the same, at least what my little research on this tells me. So if you are interested, you kind of have to wait around to hopefully that comes back in stock for you. And then we get to the Tomb Raider crossover. And quickly, Tristan T says, we're getting Lara Croft and classified before Flash. I don't know. It's going to be close. We'll just say that. So this is going to be the same New York Comic Con exclusive from my understanding. And for the most part, this is supposed to be based off of the latest Tomb Raider movie. I mean, Tomb Raider TV show. Now, people will say, well, this doesn't make any sense. Why would they do stuff like this? This is stupid. But you know what? They've had crossovers before. The Phrygian Sarge. Then, basically I think they did a spinoff with both Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, right? So this is par for the course. There's Tomb Raider and G.I. Joe crossover. It is a classified from everything that I'm understanding. So if it brings new people into the line, awesome. I'm not trying to gatekeep this property. I want this property to be around for years to come, to where every single shelf in my basement is full of classified boxes and I have to move, which we're getting to that point. But from my understanding, this is the latest game. Now, I know nothing about her, but this is right up G.I. Joe's alley, to be 100% honest. People said, hey, I think this is death of the line because, this is what you start grabbing at straws. Well, I don't know why people can look at the classified line and not see like how well it's doing. It's like right there, but you're like, nope, sky is green. Don't care what you say. Again, I think we're going to be perfectly fine. And I think this is going to be around for quite some time. Cornelius McGillicuddy says Lara Croft needs to be the newest member of the adventure team. As a matter of principle, not having the adventure team not having the adventure team a part of this Tomb Raider rollout would be a huge miss. I don't think that you're going to get this being part of the adventure team. But I understand what you're saying. and you might not even be that far off of what you might be able to make it work with. Carlos says if Laura Croft is anything like Angelina Jolie, she can join my team anytime. I am not a fan of Angelina Jolie. She deserves and to be the. She should be at the Motu. I'm sorry, Motuna Meltverse. And there's the ketchup in the ice cream. Again, this won't be for everyone, but yeah. Hayden Feel saying, this announcement made me start playing Tomb Raider. I am hooked. I might be wrong, but I think we need this.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
You know, it's funny. I'm watching Burn Notice again because I enjoy it, and seeing Bruce Campbell a little bit heavier than what he was in Army of Darkness and Evil Dead is, even though I've watched it and think it's 20 years old, still kind of makes me laugh. Figure Freak says, "Oh my God, we're getting this before this. Jeez, just be patient and enjoy the show. I love, dude. I am with you 100%, man. Like all those people saying like, you know, Lenny doesn't know what he's doing. No, they know exactly what they're doing, right? Like, why would you give people the OG 13 knowing that some people are saying, I just want the OG 13 that I'm out. But no, we're going to keep on giving you new figures. Hopefully you're like, oh, I kind of like this one. And then you're picking it up. They know exactly what they're doing. So, Allison says, I'm definitely there for Lara Croft. I spent an entire summer playing that game when it came out. Best PlayStation game next to Resident Evil games. Allison, I feel like you have a bias towards female figures. Maybe I'm wrong. Pop Blender jumping in and say, hey, Punk, I don't care about toy crossovers so much, but I do care about show crossovers. How about when Mandalorian crossed over with Boba Fett? Oh, yeah, it sucked. Okay, maybe I do care. I'd say it wasn't the best storyline. But if you're talking about Mandalorian and Grogu, you might have missed the beginning. I enjoyed that movie. Viper Scout says, Burn Notice is awesome. Top 10 show from... I'm not going to go top 10 show, but I will say this. I am watching, all 8 seasons of it right now. And I think I watched 4 or 5 episodes today. Maybe 3 or 4 episodes today while I was putting shit away. And so I just turn it on and I enjoy it. I like Michael Weston. All right. And if you look up the girl, man, she's had it rough afterwards. She's like bipolar and stuff. And it, we all age, but you can tell she's, she's had it pretty rough. So, anyway, I've been watching Burn Notice. If you haven't watched Burn Notice, go watch it. It's a fun show. It's a fun show. It is the A-Team and MacGyver for the late 90s, right? Late 90s, early 2000s, I think. So, Ultra Match says, I kind of like this one. Hopefully it ends up at Ollie's or Ross. I have a feeling it's not going to. Now, Tony says, Mando and Boba were cool together. Did I miss something? So anyway, Lost Rangers, Burn Notice, G.I. Joe crossover coming up. It wouldn't be the worst. All right. So that's it. So, for a quick topic. I want to let's come look here and see what our poll says. And let's see, 105 votes. 32% say you love crossovers. 9% say keep toys segregated. I don't know how many accounts Jeremy has, but clearly he has a bunch of them. And 59% say some make sense, and I'm agreeing with that. Some of these make total logical sense, but when you look at some of these shows, I'm trying to remember if I did the topic. I feel like I did the topic of like the biggest horrors of toys, and it was like Master of the Universe, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's where you get like, again, you get these massive, like, they're just toy horrors, right? I think that's the best way to put it. The same time toys, 105 votes, 58 likes. Hit that like button, people. Thank you. I literally refreshed it to see it. It's funny. I told you, like, people will vote, and it's like, okay, so you can vote, which means you can also hit that thumbs up. But as some people said, maybe I haven't decided if I want to thumbs up this. Allison says we really need to cancel that Jeremy guy from his racism at this point. He's still around. He's still around. And I know because Baldy's like, hey, that's that someone made a comment, he's like, that's that Jeremy. I'm like, how do you know that? He's like, because I got screenshots. And he sends the screenshots, you know? And you're like, why the fuck? I know I have screenshots of stuff, but I've forgotten that I had them. Baldy does not forget that shit. But anyway, crossovers. I mean, sometimes you look at some of these crossovers and they are there to try and bring kids in. I think this right here, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, G.I. Joe, this is, in my opinion, you're trying to bring kids in, which I'm perfectly fine with, right? You know, it'll be nice if they ever start doing Energon Classified, but you want to bring the young generation in. I truly do believe that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Transformers are the two lines that are going to survive every single iteration of toys. They're never going to go away. You know, superheroes, they're a little different because they're making movies, but there's their ups and downs, right? Turtles, again, hey, here's 4 turtles. They're almost always fairly inexpensive. There's only 4 of them. There's always going to be the 4 major ones, and you got a Splinter, and they reinvent themselves. I've said it before, Transformers, you look at a kid, you go, hey, you like a car? Yeah. You like a robot? Yeah. What about one that transforms? Fuck yeah, Dad, I want that. That's not hard to sell a kid. So when you look at, like, let's say Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, that just makes sense. They're owned by the same company, which is a toy company. So they're able to make the toys. One is a car and a robot. The other one, you know, is, once again, action figures. But when you get something like G.I. Joe Turtle crossover, it's in my opinion only there for one reason, and that is to bring in younger kids. Lara Croft, G.I. Joe crossover, right? This is an adventurer. I actually never watched a Lara Croft movie or played the game, but I know a little bit about her. It makes sense, right? G.I. Joe has the adventure team. Does this mean we're going to get adventure team members? I don't know, but Big Bad Workshop clearly thinks that it's a good idea, so they went ahead and did it. If you don't have that figure, then I think you're kind of shit out of luck, because that one is shot up in price because it sold out. Wish I would have bought 10 to sell them all. But you get something like Master of the Universe. They crossed over with Stranger Things. Did that bring any new people into Master of the Universe? Now, there is a reason to do that. Stranger Things takes place in the 80s. Remember, during the 80s, He-Man was huge, right up until She-Ra came up, and then She-Ra absolutely tanked He-Man. Have you ever seen a female bring down a man? You know what? Forget that. Happens all the time. Anyway, you know, there is something when it comes to, you know, this whole thing. Allison Troy says, can't wait for the G.I. Joe K-pop Demon Hunter crossover. You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, like maybe forever. But some of these make sense. I think that the Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossover, perfect. Like that's what crossovers were made for. Now, I don't fully understand the Turtles Motu crossover. Again, you took basically the two biggest horrors and put them in a room and said, do you think they'll fuck? And the answer was yes. But I got some friends that are into the Motu and into the Motu and stuff. And they're like, this was my dream. Like as a kid, these were my two favorite properties. They scaled well together. And I think that works perfectly. Where the G.I. Joe one, I don't think so. But again, they're not aiming this towards me. Steve Martin says, I want the G.I. Joe Skibidi crossover. Does anyone remember my show? What the fuck is a Skibidi? I still don't know. Even though my daughter came in and kind of explained it to me. Viper Scout says some crossovers make sense, like G.I. Joe Transformers, but again, that's kind of a weird crossover because they're kind of like in the same universe. And Transformers Hero 80s vehicles, some don't, like Transformers and He-Man or G.I. Joe and Batman. Did they do G.I. Joe Batman? I'm trying to think. Did they do G.I. Joe Batman? I don't remember. Oh, they did in the comic. They definitely did. Now, you do have the crossovers with Fortnite. Now, they did the Fortnite Snake Eyes, which was classified, and they gave him some Fortnite weapons and ammunition, shit like that. Now, I watched something, I came across something on YouTube when all that was going down with the owner of Fortnite. And he basically loves these properties. He was the one that wanted to put Snake Eyes into it. It wasn't the other way around, like what most people thought. It was him wanting to bring stuff in. But I just think some of these crossovers, like I think some of them make sense. And then other ones just they don't make sense. And I don't really consider like comic crossovers. I'm talking more toys. You know, again, I think you had Batman Spawn crossover. Let's be honest. In all reality, Spawn would absolutely wipe the floor with Batman. But if you watch that and you read that comic, he throws the Batarang. It literally splits Spawn's head. And McFarlane left that in. His face was constantly stitched up. And again, what Eva Dookie says, I want a 50 cent and $1 million man crossover. That made me laugh. Figure Freak says Joker Eyes, Snake Eyes. Don't give him any ideas. Now Tristan T says Alien vs. Predator is another classic crossover. And that's another one that is kind of like, is it a true crossover, right? They were owned by the same company, I believe. It makes sense. They're both aliens. Obviously, one takes place in our timeline and the other one takes place in the future. But again, if it survives, the Predators survive, then there's no reason why they're not going to end up eventually mixing up. Now, Freddy versus Jason. There is a crossover that people wanted for years. And it didn't, my opinion, not what it was supposed to be. I think people always want to see Jason versus Michael Myers. Again, Michael Myers, I guess, I guess he did have more superpowers than anything. But it just didn't make a lot of sense, right? Like that would never have really worked because I always looked at Halloween as being more grounded. Same time, a Batcave pit would be cool. It definitely would. Now you got me thinking, like, I like that. Now, so Shelf Presence here says that the current Thundercat Silverhawks crossover is very good so far and very dark. Man, the Hawks have seen something. And see, like, I guess that's technically a crossover, but to me, that's kind of like a crossover like the X-Men and the Avengers, right? They're already living in the same universe, right? And technically it still is a crossover, but I always saw them as like living in the exact same universe. Just like Transformers and G.I. Joe, right? They always, even in the cartoon, remember? Like they had that snake guy that it was Cobra Commander. He had the mask on it. They show that, hey, even though they never said Cobra, they used the voice actor who was also Starscream, so probably wasn't hard to get him. And they added him in. Now, it's kind of funny that they didn't use the name or anything because it's like, well, first off, you guys own the property. You have the same people doing the animation. You can say that. But we do see, like right now we have the Sonic DC crossover. Did you know? That Sonic DC crossover that's been out for probably about 6 months. I don't know. A few weeks ago, Tony was like, he started sending us pictures of the Sonic DC crossover in our chat, and we're all like, "Have you not gone in a fucking store recently?" Dude, these things have been out like 4 or 5 months, if not longer. I don't get the Sonic DC crossover. It definitely doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Shelf Friend says Flint's great granddaughter is in Transformers. Okay. This is how you know Tony's listening. I had no fucking idea. We literally talked about it in our chat. We literally talked about it in our chat. It was just funny because like Tony sends these pictures and we're all like, dude, like seriously, did you go to fucking stores? Like they're all over. Blue Barnell says G.I. Joe Cabbage Patch Kids. Come on, you know you want it. That is the perfect way, especially back in the 80s. That would have been the perfect way to bond a grandson with their grandmother. Because they were buying that shit up. So Evil Duke says Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario, all the kids wanted. They did that though, right? Like that, like Sonic now is part of like in the Nintendo universe, because for the most part, for the most part, Sega doesn't have systems anymore, so they have to put it on something. But you're right. Like as a kid, that was what you definitely wanted to see, right? You wanted to see that crossover, just like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. But Street Fighter is just so much better than Mortal Kombat. And I'm not even a video game guy. Tony says these nerds know everything before I do. Okay. It wasn't like we talked about it 2 or 3 days before. It was literally months. It was literally months. All right. Shelfred says Marissa Fairborn, who appears in the 3rd season of the Transformers Generation cartoon, 2006 era, is widely recognized in Transformers lore as the daughter of G.I. Joe characters Flint and Lady J. Wait. There's a Transformers Generation 1 cartoon from 2006? Now I'm interested in that. GoBots and Transformers, low hanging fruit. You remember Cyclops? Okay, so first off, we kind of talked about this. Cyclops, Cykill was killed by Megatron, but they recently did crash. They recently did crash as a Transformer. And I saw her numerous times at like at Walmart. It was a good looking Transformer. I'm not into Transformers or anything. So but it is one of those things that they did do that because they bought, of course they bought the property. So Hasbro can do whatever they want. MC Armazza says, "My Pony Legions, my little mythic." I'm not gonna lie, but the problem with that is, if I am correct, I believe Boss Fight Studios has the main line of My Little Pony, and Mythic Legion is owned by Four Horsemen. And do that whole Red Sonja thing, I don't think they're ever gonna work. Cykill was where were we talking about it? Oh, we were talking about it, I think, on Thursday. Wasn't it on Thursday we were talking about it on the drive to Joe Fest, and someone made a comment about about GoBots and how I always liked them more because they scaled more even than Transformers. And I went, you mean like Cykill to Leader 1? Cykill was like as big as Leader 1. He's a motorcycle compared to an F-15. And again, if you've ever been around a fighter jet, they're fucking huge. Like, they're very large vehicles. Let's see. Tristan says GoBots were called machine men over here. Really? I did not know that. But Megatron killed Cykill. I need to call him Mega Kill or Cytron. He killed him. Like, he literally like rips him apart, which I thought kind of sucked because Cykill really did look evil. But it was just an interesting thing. Again, I'll say it again. When you're trying to come up with as many topics, sometimes you have to just kind of throw one out there. But, again, when I look at this here, 108 votes, and only 32% of people love them. Now, 59% say, some make sense. And I'm in agreement with that. I think some work perfect. And again, I don't like to consider Transformers G.I. Joe as much of a crossover. They're owned by the same property. They've always been put in the same universe. So I don't think that they're I don't really consider that like a huge crossover. I look at like Transformers He-Man and G.I. Joe and Turtles. And, He-Man and pretty much everything. Or Turtles and everything. They all seem to love they're doing the crossover. So Dirty Knife says the cease and desist over My Little Pony would be hilarious and worth the attempt just for an LOL. Funny is that, so I'm going way off topic here. As most of you know, I was a skateboarder. I am a skateboarder. So there was a company, World Industries, owned by Rocco, and he changed skateboarding, right? And they used to love taking graphics and changing them around. They got sued by Goodwill. Because imagine getting a cease and desist by Goodwill. But I found this really interesting. They were taken to court by Disney for one of their graphics. They got a cease and desist. And so when they basically got called down, this is big time trial. And this guy was making money. So he has a big time lawyer. And he goes, so we go to the judge, this goes to the grand jury. And the judge is like, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to go to lunch. It's my lunchtime. You guys are going to figure something out, or you're not going to be happy when I come back. So he's sitting there with his lawyer. This is the owner of a skateboard company. There's so many graphics. You go look up World Industries, go look World Industries skateboards, and look at all the fucking graphics that they've done, and you'll be like, holy shit. They were just ripping off everything. Like, that was their big thing. And he said, so we're sitting there, and there's the two high-powered Disney lawyers. And Rocco goes, he says, okay, what's it going to take for this to go away? And they're like, well, how about $100,000? I think that's what it was, something like that. And he says, dude, he goes, come on. He goes, I promise I won't do this again. And he goes, plus, we changed it more than 10%. So you can't even sue us. And he said the guys literally started laughing at him and goes, that's not a thing, right? Like, everyone believes that if you changed a certain percentage, like, that you can't be sued. And they're like, that's not a real thing. Now, mind you, this is in the early 90s. And he goes, okay, how about this? Promise I'm never going to do it again, right? Never going to rip your stuff off and parody it. He said they looked at him and goes, normally that would be okay. But, and he goes, boom, they handed out, I think he said 5 different cease and desist where he goes, you've told us the same thing 5 times. This isn't going away this time. And he was like, what's it going to cost? And they go, 100,000. And he said he looked at his lawyer and accountant and was like, pay him the money just to make it. And he said, we never did it again with Disney. So those types of crossovers aren't the best. And yeah, you do have to change it. That really has nothing to do with crossover. That's more of a parody, but it's just funny that you mentioned cease and desist. Tristan ceases Rugrats and Garbage Pail Kids. So again, Garbage Pail Kids were not a crossover. They were a parody. But how awesome were they? Same time twice says, wait, skateboarding story? Is it Thursday already? Hey, you know me. Well, MC Armaza says, heard Goodwill is sending one to see Circle of Jerks. So this is what was funny. Like, I was watching it, and this is after our whole Gucci versus Goodwill came up, and there was the Goodwill board. And then the next day, this goes out, and I'm like, I'm like, I love Rocco, because if you go look at, there's a documentary, The Man That Sold the World, and it's a great documentary about Rocco as a skateboarder. Pretty much in the 80s, there was 5 skateboard companies, and they pretty much laughed at him and told him, fuck you, a skateboarder cannot run a company. And he pretty much said, fuck you. And he built the biggest fucking empire in skateboarding and sold it, and then just disappeared. I said he sold it for like 30 million, I think, and just disappeared for years. Had nothing to do with the industry. But it's pretty interesting. But he got a cease and desist by Goodwill, which I found comical. But someone did bring up the Transformers and like football. Like that is a weird thing. Transformers and Back to the Future, the DeLorean. So it's one of those weird things to do these crossovers. But with Transformers, that makes sense because you're like, hey, we're just gonna make a robot and these football helmets. I don't know anyone really wants that, but Triple D says, my little GI bronies. Dario jumping in. Good morning from Italy. Great to have you. Although I'm about to call it a night. It is after midnight. And I'm exhausted. I didn't get to take my nap because my daughter, who I hadn't seen in 2 weeks, which is actually I take the back. I probably have seen her. She's probably dropped over. Again, when I say I haven't seen my daughter in 2 weeks, it's not like we have a back and forth. It's not like we have a back and forth. We're literally all going on vacation. Her mom, me, my sister-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law, and my daughter. We're all going on vacation. She just hasn't been here. She's been in school or whatever, and she just had to talk to me. Basically to tell me that I was right about her needing to apologize to her friend. And it's one of those, you like hearing it. You're like, wow, so your dad's not that dumb. Your dad's not that dumb. Okay, so that's what I'm going to say, MCR. I have no idea what Rocco's last name is. You might be right. It might be Safredi. But if you look, I mean, obviously, if you look at World Industries, Rocco, but I have no idea what his last name is. He's just Rocco. So I don't know. But if you're thinking of, they probably say it in that documentary, but I don't know what his last name is, which is kind of comical. But anyway, I am going to get out of here. I have to work in the morning after having 3 days off. And like I said, I'm literally about to fucking pass out. Just kidding. That's an adult performer. Again, it still could be. I don't know. Anyway, please tune in tomorrow. I believe we have a show on Circle of Jerks, but if I don't, you know where I will be Thursday for the Drive to Joe Fest, where we have Smoking Joe's on, Same Time Toys right here, and his partner, Woody 222 Duff Figure Addict, which I didn't put all that in. I just said Woody 222. I mean, you guys know. You see fucking Woody, you know exactly who we're talking about. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much. I will see you guys all tomorrow on the Circle of Jerks. Have a wonderful night.